All right, we live, y'all. It's Wednesday. We back.
Hey.
Welcome, everyone.
What's up, good people?
See everybody chime in. We get this on public so the world can see. You know what I mean? We got a good show today. As y'all can see, we got a new face. It's my son, Elijah.
Yes.
You know,
E-Dog.
and we got our nephew joining us too. He's actually at his internship. So once he finishes up
Right.
the internship, he's gonna come in and join us. And let me just make this public for the world. All right, we public for the world. So
Okay.
again, we got the lovely Robin with us, our
Hey,
co-host.
everybody.
We got brother Bob
Good,
back in
what
the
it do?
house.
Yes.
Hey.
You know, matter of fact, Bob, Bob, you missed last week, man.
What happened last week?
Man, so last week we had Beezy on this young last
Yes, we
week.
did.
Oh man.
Ah.
Oh yeah, cancel culture, man. And he got canceled.
Okay.
He got canceled.
Yeah, man. Some, I mean,
He got canceled.
Yes, he did.
I heard, well, yeah, I can see that. You know what I'm saying? He probably had a lot to say,
A whole lot.
A whole lot to say, but it was good though. It was a good show. It was definitely a good show, man. We gotta have him back on later on in the year. We gotta have him back on. Brother Karan, what's up, Karan? Yeah, you see my
Hey,
son here,
Karan.
man. Your neighbor. He's on. We got him on. You know what I mean? We got some things to talk about. You know, General, what's up, General? I had to bring my son in, man. My nephew, like I said, my nephew's coming a little later on. We want to interview these guys, man. They came up in the family. They doing great things. We're proud of them. I'm proud of him. You know, we're gonna hear from him. Some of the things that he got going on in his world. And to start it off, you know, let's just get right into it. Introduce yourself, son.
My name is Elijah. I'm 17 and I'm in 11th grade, and I aspire to be an entrepreneur.
There it is.
just like that, huh?
Just like that.
Okay.
What the younger say? Period.
Nah.
What are they saying now?
Hey, cuz.
No cap. Is that it? Yeah, kind
It's
of.
kind of different things.
But-
It's different.
But
Okay.
in that context, like what?
Sit up. So you can answer the mic.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'll probably be like, nah, for real or something like that.
Nah, for real. Okay, nah, for real. We about to get updated in here in the studio, y'all. That's we got these young folks. I know what they're talking about.
That's right. So he said entrepreneurship. So, like, what do you do, or what do you aspire to do?
Well, I aspire to have a lot of different businesses. I like money, so I want to have a lot of different streams of income. But right now I currently have a clothing brand called 555 Desires with two of my other friends that I've known for years now, and
Good.
Shout them
know.
out.
Jordan and Jakari.
Yes.
Those are my guys.
What's up,
Hey,
Jordan
Marika.
Dakar?
Hey,
Yeah.
Tanisha.
Hey, Marika.
Welcome everybody.
Happy New Year, Marika. Marika, she was busy last week, man. We missed you, Marika.
She back.
She back though.
It's a good thing she missed last week, probably.
Yeah, good thing she missed last week. Yeah. Hey, real quick, Marika and Tanisha, now, y'all on here. Y'all seen that post I posted earlier about the Ugg boots, right? So y'all see what happened.
Oh gosh, I saw
Y'all
it.
saw
too.
what happened. But but nah, let's get back to it though. So, son, let me ask you something. What made you want to become? Well, let me rewind it all the way back. Right? How can I ask this question?
Take your time. Take your time.
I got the answer already.
You got the answer
No,
already?
you know. You got the
It's
answer
from
already.
y'all family.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He
that.
can't help
So-
it.
So, hold on, that's Jabril right there. You also, nah, you gotta come around the back. Yeah, come over.
Oh, we
around
gonna
the
go to
We
back.
are
commercial.
on live.
Uh, Yes. Speaking of these, the young
Left
folks
of the store,
today,
come all the way around.
que- Elijah.
Yeah, let him in.
Are you gonna let the producer gonna hook us up? Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. No need for commercial because I was gonna tell you.
Yeah, I ain't get to finish my question. Son, what interests you in being an entrepreneur?
Well, first off, our family is full of entrepreneurs. Everybody who started their own thing. You got your car wash thing, the costumes.
Mhm.
Uncle Mo, of course, he has his different businesses. Uncle Ba, he went into the real estate field and things like that. So, and Faja, she has her cleaning business. So everybody's really has their hands in a couple entrepreneurship things. And me, I just never seen myself the type to like not saying that there's anything wrong with working a 9 to 5, but I just don't see that for myself. I like to have my hands on everything and control everything, and just, be hands on with a lot of things. So yeah, it just really the people around me, and actually today in school in my psychology class, they were talking about students and like internal and external motivation. And they was talking about how like a lot of people who have external motivation, they don't really make it far in life or where they could be, versus people who have internal motivation, because external motivation is someone who relies on something from someone else, who's motivated by someone else or something they see. And once that person stops what they're doing, and that motivation from that person stops, then what else do you have? you know Versus internal motivation is someone, like, who motivates herself, sits down, looks at all the adversity and things like that, and what's in their way, and like, what can I do? So that's one thing we talked about in class today. So I think I have internal motivation because I just think about the things I want in life, what I want for myself, what I want for the people around me, things like that. So
I love it.
Yeah,
that's all
thanks
right.
for breaking that down too.
Us,
The
we
difference
adults can take that. We need some
internal motivation and
Definitely.
external yeah.
Hey, Ms. Lynn.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a question regarding the external part, right? Because I want to know, and I'm maybe some of the other viewers out there want to know too, what it's like to be in school now at your age, and the
That's my oldest son,
influences
Marika.
that you are seeing, the things that are tugging at you on the external side, right? So if you can share with us a little bit of like what's that like? I mean, you in high school, and what are the things that you see out there, the influences? What's coming
Hey,
at you?
Sheena.
Well, in high school you see a lot of different things, you experience a lot of different things, you meet different people, and there's a lot of distractions that can come with that, and you can get caught up in a lot of different things, good or bad. And I just feel like with me, it's about for one, who you hang around.
Mm.
Of course, the girls and things like that.
The girls.
It's really about your circle for real. So me, I try to keep my circle tight, and I try to keep people around me who will have the same mindset as me. And like my friends were in a group chat, and we talk all the time about the future and what we want for ourselves, and like, what does everybody see themselves in the future and things like that. And I asked my friends the other day, like, I asked them, how many of y'all are going to college? Like, what do y'all want to do? Things like that. And there's been many times where I sit with my friends. We talk for hours about the future, things like that. So the external motivation with that, I feel like I get motivation from my friends because everybody gets different accomplishment, and there has been times where my friends have been really successful at really things, and I'm like, I could see myself getting there. I try to work myself there and things like that. So as long as I just try to keep my stay in the right lane, don't direct myself into all the other stuff that's going on right now in school and things like that.
I like that answer. Now you're not just saying that because your dad is sitting
Nah,
there, right?
Yeah, let me.
Hey, some of this stuff is new to me. Some of this stuff new to me.
Step on, pops.
What's up, Skinny?
Step on, pops, real quick. Step on.
Hey, Skinny, you hear Elijah, man? Hey, man, that's my man.
That's
man.
good.
But-
That's what I'm
Skinny?
talking about.
But you know what though? So I gotta ask you something. Well, I have to say something though, because about what was this, like maybe 2-3 weeks ago or so, maybe before Christmas or whatever. He was saying to me, he came to me, he was like, Dad, you know what? I don't know if I want to go to college.
Mhm.
And initially, my first reaction, internal,
Mhm.
was upset. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, you my first seed. I didn't go to college. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I didn't even take school seriously, first and foremost, because if I did, I know for a fact I would have been at least I would have had a sports scholarship. You know, what is it? Academic? What do they call it? Sports scholarships or
Sports
whatever. it
scholarships,
is.
yeah.
You know, as far as basketball, I know that for a fact, right? So to see how you were, you know, coming up and you was taking your education very seriously, you know, you was high, you know, you almost wanted the spelling bee, you know, it was a lot of things that I seen you doing. And I was like, man, he way ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? And then when you came with that, Dad, I don't think I want to go to college. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I can see that would hit hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I had to really process some things and say, well, you know, college isn't everything,
Right.
but, and I asked her, I said, well, what's your direction? Like, if it's not college, then what do you want to do? And you was like, well, you know, I want to, you know, I got my business, I want to run my business. And I was like, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but you got to do what? You got to take some courses, you know, whether it be some online courses, you know, getting some type of programs where I want you to take accounting or business management course,
Mhm.
because what you don't want is to have your business solely in somebody else's hands,
Yeah.
where you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I said,
Yeah.
you know, and the good thing about today with the internet and everything like that, like when I look at your clothing line, your brand page on Instagram, right? Like y'all are killing it out here. Y'all, your pre-sales, you know what I mean? Y'all selling out sometimes before it even hit the
Wow.
market, you know what I mean? And it's you guys have a good thing going. But I want you to always understand that in life is ups and downs.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And you always want to have some kind of education to have a fallback on. Not a fail plan, but a fallback plan. You know what I'm saying? That way you can take your business and go somewhere else with it. Or you can take the business and say, well, look, fella, you know what I mean? I want to go a different route. I'll sell you guys my share. You know what I mean? And start something else. But you learn these avenues by taking courses, you know, in different classes, because it's impossible to learn everything on your own. You know what I mean? Especially when you're going into something new. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, you know, I was kind of thrown back by it, but then when we talked,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Yeah, Dad, you know," and then I talked to one of my clients, and he dropped the jewel on me also that I didn't think about at that time either. Well, if I was already saving for college for you, 50, 100, 200, whatever, how
Yeah.
much it costs to go to college, take that money and invest it into you.
Yes. Yeah.
And that way, I know I'm getting a return off of.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have some legal documents that,
Yeah.
hey, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Not that I'm gonna have a percentage in your company, but I just want you to know that I'm behind you 110%. You know what I mean? Which way you want to go. But if I'm going to spend this money and you don't want to go to college, because I don't want to force you to go to college and I'm spending 50, 100, whatever it costs if you go to college and you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
That's not going to reflect. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'd rather take that money and invest it into what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when that time comes, leading up to that, as a matter of fact, I do want to have a sit down with you and your other two business partners just to pick y'all brains, see where y'all at. You know what I mean? Because this is a business you all are doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking when the word business come, guess what follow behind that? The IRS follows right behind business.
Yeah.
If it's a legit business, the IRS follows right behind that. So you want to make sure that everything is in order, because if you are doing everything right and your partner is not, then guess what? The IRS, he coming for the business. Not, Elijah was doing this thing, we're gonna leave him alone. No. And then it costs you more money to get out of that. So, you know, but that's things that we're gonna talk about, stuff like that. That's not for the podcast, but I just wanted to bring that up. You know what I mean? In conjunction with what we were talking about when I was a little upset at the time when you say you didn't want to go to college. And I'm still processing it, but it's becoming more clearer now, because number one, I know where your head is. I know you're smart, and I know you love what you're doing right now. And I know the stock that you come from, your uncles, you know, your aunts, you know what I mean? You know, things like that. And everybody is behind you. You know, one thing about our family, we strong knit, and we always make sure that each other are okay. You know, so I'm good with that part. So I definitely, you know, I double salute you. You know, I love you for that. You know, And
and
our nephew. Oh, wait.
I got one little tip I want to add on there for you, nephew. And I'm learning this. I learned this from somewhere else, but find you some mentors who have walked where you're going, right? To the as best you can, right? Because you can learn a lot from other people's mistakes. That's what you're looking for. You don't have to make all of the mistakes, right? You're gonna make some, but you don't have to make all of them. So find you a mentor or two or whatever you can who knows your space, who operates in that arena so that you can move as intelligently as you can.
And I just wanted to say too, I was looking at what they said here. You got to tag his brand,
Yeah.
so that people can
Tony
support.
Stu.
But I like that. That's a real thing when they say they don't want to go to college. We just get like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I think in talking to some other young people, not listening to Elijah, but talking to some other young people, they be like, oh, I don't want to go to college because I'm going to do this and do that. But they have absolutely no idea or plan about what they're going to do, which is what I like listening to him. He's already doing the work. He already knows what he wants. He already knows he wants to go into entrepreneurship. He's going to take some business classes or accounting classes, and he's already doing it. Like the bulk of it is already there. I just get so discouraged when they say, oh, I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to make it. And I'm like, well, how are you going to make it?
This?
But I am going to step aside so that we can bring on our next guest.
I was going to swap out. You sure you?
I think this is a family thing. It's the guys.
Your family.
I can come back. I'm gonna come back. But I'm like,
Robin, you got to come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right over there on the sofa.
She's going over on the sofa. All right, hey guys, without further ado, we're gonna bring in the oldest nephew of the family. Matter of fact, let me ask you, is this so Jabril would be the second generation? Him and Elijah is the second generation, right?
Yeah.
He'll be the second generation. All right, let's give it up, y'all, for our oldest nephew, Jabril.
Breezy.
What's going on, man? What's Jabril, man? How you doing, nephew? You good?
Yeah.
We had to let them know that, man, you was at your internship.
Yeah,
you know?
I was hitting that 50 on the freeway, no song.
So tell me real quick, what's up with this internship? I ain't know nothing about that. What's up?
Oh yeah, so basically, I interned at a leasing agency.
Okay.
An apartment is like in Georgetown. It's called Westbrook Place.
Okay.
So right now they're just teaching me the ins and outs of the business. They're teaching some real estate on the side. So it's just a way for me to get some money in my pocket while learning how to get more money in my pocket.
Well, first of all, I want to say respect because you did mention that you had an interest in real estate. So the fact that you took some steps towards that, kudos.
Put up Tony Stewart. The last one he just said about corny. I do want to read on that.
Tonio Stewart said college is corny. The internet can teach our kids all they need. College only helps with networking and relationships. Okay? Well, I can say this. I was listening to somebody, they were saying that if you go into college, you find the students who are connected, who their families are connected in those colleges. You make friends with them instead of focusing on who's the coolest, who's got all the females, all that. Make alliances with those who are making things happen, so that way you can actually maximize that college education. Because
I've asked people like, are y'all going to college? And they'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, what you going to college for? And then they'll say like, oh, for the girls, for the experience, for the parties. Like they won't really say anything that I'll be like, oh, okay. I'll just be like, stay away from you. They don't really have any drive or anything like that. And when I was younger, I'm sure you
was younger.
Yeah. When I was younger, people always ask me like, oh, what are you gonna do when you graduate high school? What are you gonna do? And I remember like for the year straight, I would always say, oh, I'm gonna go to college and be an engineer. And that's not really what I ever wanted to do. I just feel like that was just something
sounded good
to say to sound good. And it took me a while to
Was it because I was an engineer?
No, it was just I don't know why I used to say it. I just used to say it. And I think it was really just because it sounded good. Mm-hmm. So but it took me a while to really sit down and think of like what do you really want to do and things like that. So but I always have moments when I'm in my room or something like that. I'll be listening to music or I'll see something on the internet and I'll just think like about my life and what I really want for myself and things like that, and the steps that I can take. So, I'm also Uncle Mo told us about SMART goals. Got to start making SMART goals for myself. So
Y'all remember your uncle set y'all up with the Uncle Mo? He set y'all up with the which y'all know y'all got stock, right?
Yeah.
You remember that, Jabril?
Mhm.
He gave all y'all stock. You don't even remember that years ago.
I'm gonna have to
Just
put it in my
imagine
name.
how much
He
it's
don't even
probably
know.
worth
Have
now.
to put
You
it in
don't
my
even
name.
remember that.
I'm transferring it.
You don't even
remember.
understand how we you know, we all are blessed, right? And what I mean by that is you guys are blessed to have us, and we're blessed to have you all, because it's a lot of situations where we meeting to do a GoFundMe for families. You know what I'm saying? We meeting to come up with some bail money, for families. Like, we don't have those problems with you all. You know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing for us. Now granted, every day I know I get up. I'm pretty sure Uncle Bob and Uncle Mo and Aunt Father, when we get up, we pray for you all as we do ourselves. You know what I mean? Because this world is this world, and it's fast moving, and we know that you can easily be persuaded to do something. But we try to stay on you guys and try to stay positive, and we try to always keep us a tight-knit family so you guys can see the wrongs and the rights. You know what I mean? And just speaking on that, I want to ask you guys though, how have you? I'm gonna go with you first, Jabril, because Elijah was here already. I'm gonna ask you, Jabril. What's your thought on the family?
Man, oh yeah, this
Right.
I don't know how to even start with our family. It's like, from my perspective.
Yeah, from your perspective.
Like, everyone has their own piece of the pie, like everybody has their own flavor that they bring to the family that just makes it this type of Renaissance type of like dish. Like,
I think he's trying to be politically correct.
Hey, your mom ain't watching. Oh, is she watching? Hey, cuz Shirley. Oh, mom, hey, your mom just came in. She just came in. Hey,
And before he listen, y'all, if y'all had any questions for these young men, call in at 804-921-6988.
Or you can just put them in the comments.
804-921-6988. Okay.
Yeah, or you can just drop them in the comments, y'all.
yeah,
Go
so
ahead,
like
bro.
I was saying, like, everybody's different, like you got like me and Elijah. Like, me and Elijah, we're different, but we're like the same. We got like the same pack. We kind of grew up together. Like, it was just us two for a while.
Yeah.
So we kind of like buzz on that end. Then you come like Micah.
Shout out to my man Micah.
Shout out to Micah. I love Micah.
My man, I don't even know. You gotta be like some type of paste, some Play-Doh or something. Like, that man not even glue. He just somebody we gotta like to take after. You know what I'm saying? We gotta just make sure he okay. Because if we let him off too long, you might go off the grid or something like that. Like, you go out with his little animals or something like that. So and make sure he good. And then you got Sari. Like, Sari has changed the most out of everyone I've seen. At first, like, she was like she's still bright and happy, but you can see like the waves of like this change that come over her. So maybe next time I see her, she might have a whole different hairstyle, stuff like that. She changes her hairstyle a lot. But other than that, like, everyone's just so different and unique in their own ways. And I love it about this family because I go to some other families and everybody just the same. like, it's like copy and paste. Like literally, it's just no. You can't tell who's different, who's who. Like, you hear a voice, you don't know if it's the mom or the dad. Because everybody just smoking and stuff. So everybody got that cigarette voice box mode.
Hey, Jalinda.
Yeah, I just love this family a lot.
Yeah, that's
it's
what's
really
up.
good.
What about you, Elijah?
Yes, I agree with your bro. I want to add on. Everybody does play their significant roles. Everybody brings a lot to the table. Starting with the adults, like Uncle Mo, he is hilarious, and me and Jabril can relate with Uncle Mo on a lot of different situations. We laugh a lot, we joke a lot. He has a little Gila Monster joke. Never will get old. My dad, he's hilarious too. We can relate on a big scale. And Jabril, this is my guy. like you said, we're the same, but we're different in the same ways. What I take from Jabril, the first thing I took from Jabril, actually, I like Jabril's music taste. If I was in the car and I was to give someone the aux cord, it would be Jabril.
Yeah, he's got very
Yes, he has a
very
very
diverse.
good,
Very eclectic.
music taste.
eclectic taste in music.
Jabril is also very smart. He can tell you a lot about movies. He's very into movies like Uncle Ba. He can tell you a lot about. Actually, when we were younger, he used to school me in math. He probably doesn't even remember. We used to play with Nerf guns, Beyblades. That was our favorite toys coming up. With Micah and Sari, Sari, Sari is like, how can I put it? Sari she's an artist. I know she doesn't draw. She says she doesn't draw as much as she could, but she really can bring a lot to the table with her art. She had her own clothing brand at one point.
Right, just to think about it. She was
Yeah.
young and had a clothing brand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's really good on that end. Asaya, she's very bright. She has her hands in a lot of stuff.
Hey,
Got
Bina.
play coming up.
Yeah,
Play
she got
coming
the
up.
Yep.
She was in spelling
Matilda.
bees.
our niece, our youngest niece, she got a play coming up, y'all.
Mhm.
She's in the play at her school. She's the
Leading role.
leading role, Matilda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that means she's singing and everything. Yeah, I can't wait.
So I love everything about Asaya. Micah, of course. Micah is the king of animals. He can tell you anything.
Yeah.
When
Break
we
it
was
down.
at Uncle Mo's housewarming, and me and my dad and Uncle Bob was upstairs, he literally gave us a whole rap about his beetle. He told us beginning to the end. He has a little what is it? What do you call it? Enclosure.
Oh,
He
you
even had a couch for the beetle. In the enclosure.
Oh, nah.
Like, wow.
got a whole IKEA set.
Yeah, but Micah is really the glue, that keeps everyone together. He makes everyone
Hey, Miss
laugh.
Tompkins.
Every family trip. Can't forget about Alan. Little Alan is hilarious. Actually, he just texted me the other day. Did he text you too? He texted me on New Year's and said,
Yeah, we got to get Alan on the show.
I love you.
yeah, he said, "Love you, bro. Thanks for being my brother / cousin."
I was like,
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah,
We got to get little Alan on the show. That's our other nephew. Matter of fact, Jay, when you get a chance, put up Elijah's if you can, and Cerise. I don't know how you can put it up there, but
What?
put that clothing brand so people can.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has an Instagram.
555 desires.
Desire. Is it
Fire.
plural?
Mhm.
Desires.
Well, man, matter of fact, how did you come up with the name?
So me and Jordan, we was coming up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's desires. DE. See it? Yes.
Yeah.
That's the Instagram. So yeah, this was during the summer. I want to say beginning of August. Me and Jordan, we were talking about it. We were like, we should start a clothing brand. We know a lot of people, in our schools, in our city. So we was like, it would be a good idea, good opportunity, good way to make money. Start what we want to do early, because a lot of my friends, they're entrepreneurs. My other friend Jordan, he's a barber. He cuts my hair actually. He has his own barber shop and things like that. So I hang around a lot of people who already have their stuff going on and things like that. So we were just sitting one day and we was like, we should make a brand. And I started doing some research, and they said the hardest part about having a brand is coming up with a name, and that is no lie. I had a headache for like a week straight coming up with names. We had a notepad full of names and things like that, and we would go around asking which one sounds the best and things like that. We will cross out, and the biggest part about coming up with a name behind your brand, it has to have a message behind it. A lot of people in our city, their brands just be called like motion, fly, money. That's all they talk about in their brands, like money and things like that. And I just feel like you just have to be original nowadays. Got to be, because everybody just talks about the same thing. So we
What's
came
up,
up with
Easy?
the name 555 Desires, and we made our Instagram and things like that.
Where did give us some background on where that came from?
So 555 is what people call an angel number. Like 444, 333, 111. So if you search up 555, the angel numbers each has this distinct meaning. Actually, my hoodie that we dropped, last month actually has our message on it.
Okay, on the sleeve right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after we got the name and things like that together, we were trying to find someone to create our shirts and things like that. So we found a local manufacturer, and actually that lives like 10 minutes from my house. And we hit him up, asked him could he do our shirts or whatever. He gave us a quote, a price, and that's really how we got started. And I can honestly say that, you know, after all the research, all the YouTubers that I know that have clothing brands, they all say it won't be easy. It'll be a lot of ups and downs, adversity, and that is actually no lie. Like, you run into something almost every single time, but you know, you just gotta come together and sort things out and things like that. So
Stay the course.
stay the course. So, you know, I feel like things are much easier having people around you versus one person, because it can be stressful with things like that. Like, I know, you know, me at times trying to get things shipped out, you know, get packages, pick them up, and things like that. So it's a lot of different things that come with having a brand and things like that. But I'm loving it so far.
And
So Jabril, Uncle Greg, you
I was gonna ask about Jabril, because Jabril, you kind of dabbled a little bit into your entrepreneurship too in school with selling the Rice Krispie treats.
yeah, man, you had that work. They told you had that work, man. You was in the kitchen.
Hey, you had a nice little run before they thought you were selling edibles, huh?
Oh, man.
Nah, tell us a little bit about it and how you came up with that idea. It was brilliant.
Well, one day, you know, I just had some marshmallows, you know, like any other kid. I was like, you know what? You make me a batch of these joints. Looking at the back of the Rice Krispie thing, you see it. I just made it. So I made it. I had extra. So I enjoyed them with it. My man Justin came over my house and he was like, man, you got any snacks, bro? Man, I'm hungry. I said, man, I got some of these. I just made them the other day. He said, all right. Started eating joints. He took the whole tray and started biting the joint. I'm like, oh, that joint must be good. I said, yeah, fool. He said, let me going through that joint like a watermelon. I'm like, all right. I understand. So I was like, I'm gonna make some. I made some, put them in bags. Went to school next day. I got my mom's little picnic box. Joint around my waist. I was walking to school like this. They was like, what you got in there? I said, don't worry about it. I'm walking through the joint. I'm giving them out for $1. I'm saying, I ain't trying to max the price.
Yeah, you got to hook first. You got to okay.
Like,
okay.
So I'm already giving them out. I made like probably 60, 70 a week off that, just selling them.
Yeah.
And it cost me about like $15 for products.
Yeah.
So I was doing that for a long time until I got bagged. I got caught. Because not supposed to be selling stuff on
Linda.
property.
Okay. Well, you know.
But what happened was, I got them addicted. Right. So now they started chasing me and stuff. I got class. I got a class on my dream. Going to the bathroom. Somebody like, bro, please, I need another one, man. they going in their pocket, man. I got 2 quarters right here. I get other quarters. At the end of the day, I promise you. You know I'm good for, bro.
Hey, you got to don't come around with no shorts.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, all right. I know, I got you. And as soon as I took the thing out took the Rice Krispie out of the bag, security guard came and said, "Gotcha! I got you. I know it was you." Right? I was like, "Oh, you got it." I was like, "No." I was just showing her what's in my bag. It was like, "Nah, come on with me, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So now I'm walking with her. We go to the dean. All right, dean like, "What's happening? Cause you know me." You're like, "I ain't doing nothing. Why are you tripping?" She was like, "Oh, he's selling property." He was like, "What you selling?" I showed him. He said, "These edibles." I was like, "Nah." So he took them. And he said, "No, if I start feeling weird, you got expelled." I was like,
Wow, that's a heck of a story, though.
I'm like, all right. I'm like, you don't got to worry about it. Because everybody kept asking me, bro, make edibles. I thank God that I did not do that. Because
I'm glad you didn't either.
Killed me. So
Shout out to Fonz.
he was like, "Okay, I got you for $1 later." I was like, "Okay, cool." And I walked
The
off.
dean
So you got
Yeah.
to see that's how you did. So you get the dean on. You know what I'm saying? Once you get the dean hook, then you get the you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
Security guard was real salty after that. So I'm like, I chill after that though.
Hey,
So
Rose.
I don't really know what to do. I was thinking about starting back up, but I don't know, man. I'm starting to.
I think you should, bro.
But let me ask you something though. How did you feel though? Like, how did you feel to know that you came up with an idea, put it to use, and then had a product that you put out there and had people actually wanting to
It felt really
You-
good.
It did.
Yeah, I was like, I was motivated. You know, it was just, yeah. Usually I get home, like back in the day, I got home and just, you know, I'm not gonna do it for the next 6 hours. You know, but now I got in the crib and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make 2 batches of these, Rice Krispie treats. I made a little Cinnamon Toast Crunch one.
That thing
That
was
joint
fire.
shot off.
Yeah.
I made that drink, Sandra, for like $3 making bank. It cash out me. I was getting like, I started getting like 100.
Yeah, it's moving up.
I was going crazy. So I was like, I probably should get back on it because they really did rely on me because they was hungry in that school. No, school lunch is bad.
Yeah, that's
They was
true.
willing
But
to
you
pay
know
that
what
dollar.
though? You know what though? You know, we laughing about it and stuff like that though, but it's actually something good that came out of it. And not only that, what I wish a lot of kids can see, can actually see this program that we're doing right now, this show they're doing tonight, is the fact that you came up with something that you was doing that was legal. You know what I mean? You thought about, you know, wherever some even with the peer pressure out there saying, man, do edibles. But you knew in the back of your head that if I do this, my mom gonna eat me alive. You get what I'm saying? So again, that's another attest to the upbringing. You know what I mean? That your mom, you know, your uncles, your aunt, even grandma. You know what I mean? You knew you can't disappoint them in doing something like that. You know what I'm saying? But for you to jump out there and start that little business right then and there, and take it to the point to where as though the security guard put you to the dean because she was thinking you gonna get in trouble. The dean tasted the thing and said, "I give you $1 later on." Ain't nothing but God. You know what I mean? That's nothing but God telling you that you're doing the right thing. I just want you to do it the right way. Meaning next time, go to the dean and say, "Hey, dean, you know, I have these, you know, treats and things. You know, it's nothing edible. I would never do that in the school.
Let's have a school bake sale.
Let's have a school bake sale.
Sponsor some stuff.
Sponsor something. And
Some of it
maybe,
come back to you.
exactly. And we can split the proceeds. You know what I'm saying? We can split the proceeds and say,
Yeah.
hey, you know, I want to donate to, you know, someone's college fund, or I want to start a Jabril's
Rose trees.
Jabril Treat College Fund, anything, any little thing, you know what I'm saying? But think about that though. You can go so far with that, you know what I'm saying, and start that. Like that's something you can start, and then other people will take your. Let me tell y'all something. I tell Elijah this all the time, right? You may not know it, but your friends follow you.
Yeah, they watching.
They watching. They see Elijah. He dressed good. He got all the top brand shoes. Now some might envy. And you'll learn that later on in life. But as of right now, be the example. Like set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want a bad apple in the crew. You know what I'm saying? You don't want a bad apple in the crew. You want to have your crew, whether or not you guys stay together forever or for the season, but you want them guys to be truthful, respectful, you know what I'm saying? And have a like-minded. You know? That's why even when you see me, I hang with my regular guys. I got a lot of, you know, friends and things like that. Remember terms that I love and everything. But my core are the people who pour into me and I pour into them. Like you said with your two buddies and you and Jabril.
Yeah.
So I always want y'all to remember that. You know what I mean? Stay close knit, stay in your circle. You know, and if something don't seem right, bring it to the table. Don't talk around it. Bring it to the table. Because y'all are all supposed to be friends. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure y'all, if y'all using the word bruh or bro or whatever, then that's how you feel towards him, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you bring him to the table, man. Listen, man, I need to talk to you about something. You know what I'm saying? The collective thing. I don't want everybody at the table, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to talk about nobody and then get around. I want all of us here. We need to talk about this.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
that's another thing I was just thinking about. I seen a quote said, "You never finish what you start with." And I was thinking, from me now to me back in middle school, I have there's still in my
Hey,
friend
Lily.
group are people from middle school,
Hey,
but
Tiff.
I've gone through a lot of fake friends, a lot of people who haven't, wasn't doing right by me, and people I just, grew out of. You always grow out of people. There's no hard feelings or anything like that.
Mhm.
So, Jabbar, I just wanted to ask you, like, as a how many friends do you still have right now that you know you can actually say, you know, I have him covering my back for any situation, you know, compared from us middle school days to now? How can people can actually say, like, you know, you can actually genuinely call your friend or your brother?
Like two.
Two.
Yeah, that's maybe though. Isn't it's like you can trust them,
Mhm.
but it's always that one thing that they would sell you out for. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me on my life, but some be like, look, I give you $2 million right now if you snitch on your man. What man? I'm sorry. That's 2 million. I was like, yeah. But it's always like, but for like the most part, like if I was like, I trust somebody, it'll probably be like Santana and Halsey.
Yeah.
They,
Shout out to Santana.
Yeah, shout out to Santana.
Santana,
And
that's
Ozzy,
my
man.
dog.
I love them
That's my
dudes.
dog.
Man.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
We got some ideas coming.
Yeah.
Like,
Send
soon.
it. Wait, Bob.
Now, so I want to ask y'all something, right? Because we got parents out here too, right? That's watching the show right now. And from y'all's perspective, where y'all are in school, how y'all seeing things, what's some one thing or a couple of things if you can think of that you feel like maybe parents and teachers just don't quite get, that if they did would make things a lot better? Anything?
You can go ahead first.
And speak to, I mean, I'm gonna get y'all immunity. I got a deal. I'm gonna get y'all immunity. So don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Okay. So you said teachers and parents. I think I'll start off with teachers. I think some things that the teachers don't really understand or they try to force on us. Well, one being that we're young, and I know some of our teachers hold a lot of us to a higher expectation, but I don't think teachers really look into like the deep things, the internal things of what that student actually has going on. Because I know some students, you know, they have a lot going on at home. There's a lot of distractions. And I know some teachers that just, you know, treat them like the next kid on the block and things like that. So I feel like teachers should be trained more to get more into the um psychological side of students and things like
Hey,
that. That's
Keisha.
another thing that I was talking about in class today. You know, teachers, I feel like some teachers are there for the money and some teachers are there just to teach. Because I've had teachers, you know, I didn't understand a thing. And, you know, I'll ask, they'll come, explain the whole thing, break it down step by step. You know, I'll learn. And I have some teachers, you know, I'll ask them something and they will just, you know, explain it terribly or, you know, lazy or things like that. So I feel like
Okay.
um I like teachers with patience and understanding and things like that. They make the workspace environment, you know, better for me and things like that. So yeah.
Hey, Linda.
So,
What about you,
What
Drew?
about you,
Yeah,
JB?
I'll say for me, I do agree with Elijah on the teacher's part, but for I guess the whole general aspect is just expectations. You know, that's a big thing that just weighs a lot of my generation down. You know, because everyone we're not y'all. We really aren't. We're more expressive, more sensitive, more delicate, right? So we get held to these expectations. It just kills us.
Hold on. What you mean delicate though?
Like like we can't go through the same thing y'all did. We have phones now. We always like that. We went a day without power or something like that. We would freak out. Like it would be nothing. Events like with my mother, right? She had like strong expectations, like to be a doctor and study biology and stuff like that. If she did what she actually wanted to do, we'd be in a whole different place right now. But because she had expectations from my grandmother, it brought her down to a place where she didn't know how to think for herself and like be her own person. And she's just now becoming that at her later age. So I feel like if teachers and parents alike were to work with us more closely instead of just assigning stuff and saying that's it and asking, "Are you okay?" It would just make a world difference, because people like you ask them if they're okay, they start breaking down in tears because they haven't been asked that in a long time. They give you a hug, they break down in tears because they haven't hugged in a long time. And I think we're just I think like nowadays we just need to understand, instead of just complain. We need to understand where we're coming from, how each of us are doing, how everyone's just a different person, So,
What about you, with parents? You better not say nothing about me. Talk about
Hey, look, I got the man an immunity deal. Okay, say what you want to say, bro.
With the parents thing, I think that, well, okay, let's say for my mom.
Press my man out like
I'm
that.
talking about
though.
both of y'all. Talking about both of y'all. Talking about both of y'all. Talking about both of y'all.
me too.
I think parents still hold us to, how back in the day was. Because you gotta understand, a lot of things have changed since the 90s, the 80s and things like that. Like Jabril said, technology and a whole lot of things like that. So, when my parents,
Johnny.
when I try to do a certain thing or go a certain place or things like that, my mom would tell me like I can't do this or I can't do that. I'll be confused as to why I can't do it, even if I'm just going. Let's say I'm going to hang out with some friends or go to a little event or a party or something like that. I feel like my dad and my mom are very different when it comes to those two situations because my mom, like, if I ask her to go somewhere or ask her to do something with my friends or something, you know, she'll question me to death, like until she get to the bottom. And my dad, me and my dad have a trust point. My dad trusts me. When I tell him I'm gonna do something or go somewhere with this person, I know that he trusts me. As long as I'm, checking in, making sure everything is fine. And I don't have to lie to my dad about, where I go or who I'm with. He knows all my friends and things like that. So I don't really have a reason to lie to my dad. But I seen something on the internet like, two strict parents create sneaky kids. And I feel like that's true to a certain standard. Um, I know some kids who complain about, like, their parents don't let them do anything, like,
yeah.
can't have a cell phone, got a curfew at like a certain early time, things like that. And I feel like if you don't give that child the experience or that freedom, they're gonna go out and do it when they get older and learn the hard way. Maybe do something dumb or something that they could have learned when they were younger. You have to let your child make mistakes, and learn versus them getting older and making that mistake and, things being 100 times worse.
Can I interject?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so that is true, but parents shouldn't also enable bad behavior.
Mhm.
Like it shouldn't be parents who give their kids drinks. I feel like that's really wrong.
Like what kind of drinks?
Like give them alcohol. Like
Mhm.
like say like if like for their birthdays, right? Like they'll give them a shot, take a shot,
Mhm.
because they're themselves are alcoholics, right? And so now when they're 15, 16, they say, "Oh, I did everything. Yeah, when I get to college, I might be chilling." But it shouldn't be a thing because alcohol does, kill our brain cells at a younger age. It prohibits brain growth.
Mhm.
So now, like you 27, acting like a dumb butt, right? Walking around so like that, like can't focus on things, forgetting things because you had a strong alcohol consumption problem when you're younger, and with like just drugs in general. So I think at this generation, it's just made so it's real prevalent that it's okay to do it. It's okay. Depression is okay. Having suicidal thoughts is okay. Mental problems is okay when it isn't. And because something is okay doesn't mean it should be the norm.
Mhm.
Because right now it is, which is a big problem.
Okay, Professor,
Yeah.
speak on it.
But even with like back to the topic at hand, like with my parents, like my mother, like we have a really strong bond. Right, I can tell her about where I'm talking to, like, hey, look what this girl just did to me today. Like, I can tell her. She'll be like, what?
Hey,
Oh
Kevin.
nah, like I don't like her. I don't like her. She ain't coming over. So now we locked in. Like I want to say that's my best friend. Grandma, my best friend, really. Grandma,
Shout out to
really
grandma.
close. But even that, I don't have a strong. I don't have I have a father, but I don't have a dad really. Let's be real. So but I get a lot of my my lessons from my uncles. Like for instance, I pick up to Uncle Ty. when it comes to like taking substances, because my whole life I haven't
Taking substances.
yeah, like just like
Oh,
drinking.
I was like, hold on. Hold on. I never did that a day in my life. Hold on. My uncle told me how to do that. What's up, Tim? Uncle Ty.
Don't sweep it under the rug.
Hey, Taylor.
Nah,
So, yeah, but real though, it's like I really look up to you because like when some people like try to be like, oh, like take a drink, brother, drink, smoke this real quick. I be like, I think back on you because you don't need it and you still a bright light in a room. I can walk into a room and everybody swivel.
Yeah.
I don't have to take a little sip or something like that and get all right. Now I'm embarrassing myself. Now I got some girl pregnant, something like that. Now I even know her name or something. It's real wild.
Okay.
I can really just like mess with your head.
But nah, I'm glad you thinking through the consequences because that's what a lot of young folks don't do. They can't
right.
see past what's right in front of them. So
But even
respect.
though like everybody go through their own stuff, you know, you can't be too judgmental on like what they doing. Some people be like, "Oh, are you judging me?" I'm like, I don't judge you. Just don't try to sit that joint in my mouth. I'm really just cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We go
Yeah.
around the table. Then I gotta ask. Go ahead, because I got another good question. I want to go ahead. Go ahead. Break it down. If you want to go around the table, go around the
Yeah,
table.
well,
Okay. Oh, Uncle Ba, you know, spiritual Ba, we call
Yeah.
him. He really is like, you know, down to earth. So like, he just that dude. Like, let's say you call him, he'll come over your house. You like, oh, here you go, and you give him dap, and then he just leave out. Like he's like that pillar, you know. Like without him, things would be off balance. You know? He plays all sides of the coin. Like
You talking about me?
yeah. You can be like the fun uncle, spiritual uncle, you know, the uncle you need to just talk to, let things out. You know, you go through a lot of stuff yourself, so you can give a lot of advice, which I do
Oh
appreciate.
yeah.
And with uncle over here really started everything. Uncle
Uncle Mo's in the house too, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on.
Neil's in the house. Uncle Mo.
We call him just
Hey,
Uncle.
come on
So
over
he
here,
got
Uncle
that
Mo.
little-
Hey, Uncle Mo, come on over here, Uncle Mo. Come on over here, man. Come on, man.
He
Come on,
really-
man.
He really money man for real. You know, like big having.
Big having.
Yeah, he's too fly really. So we get a lot of that money mindset from Uncle, you know, because I don't know, we probably be in a Section 8 messing with him. Hey, just chilling. So like this whole thing, like every experience I really had to change my mindset came from Uncle. You know, even with me trying to start my own like the Rice Krispie Treat business, that came from you. Like to change my mindset, you know, I was just playing the game. I don't care. I was on Prestige 3. My life is complete. But after that, I was like, hold on, maybe I do need some money because I was looking at my New Balance. I'm like, these are a little crazy. Maybe making my money up. So that's what I've just been trying to do lately. So I do love all my uncles and father figures, especially Rob, my mom boyfriend. He's really good in my
Yeah.
life.
Shout out to Rob.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah.
And also Darrell.
Oh yeah,
Darrell.
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 Definitely can't forget Darrell, man. We should have had Darrell on the show. We got, you know, we're gonna do a part too, man, because actually we bringing back our nieces too. We bringing back Cherie and Asaya. So we need to get Island. We need to get Michael. We need to get the whole family on here, man. So you guys can.
Darrell got into his college, Clark.
He got to Clark University.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Congrats.
salute, man. Give us some, man. Give us some for Darrell, man.
Yes, sir.
I gotta
Yes,
reach out to my
sir.
nephew, man. We gotta do something special for Darrell, y'all. We definitely gotta do something special for Darrell. He's
And-
always, I love it, man.
Just one last little question I want to squeeze in here, and I want y'all to give it to us straight because again, we got like parents out here, and this thing about social media, right? I mean, y'all obviously grew up with it. We didn't as much, right? So the degree of importance that it has in your lives is will maybe be a different for at least for a lot of us, not all, but a lot of us, right?
Mhm.
And I want to know, like, where do y'all see it? And be honest, where do you see it as being problematic? And where do you see it as being beneficial?
Okay, so the beneficial part, social media, you know, we have a lot of influencers, comedians, people actually make millions, thousands of dollars. You know, I see my dad, he's on Instagram, you know, he's either watching comedians like Country Wayne, you know, things like that. He's always laughing, music, comedian videos like that. So it's a lot of different ways you can get paid off of it. Like my clothing brand, we use Instagram. You know, you can run ads on there. It brings a lot of attention and interaction to your page and things like that. So from the social media beneficial standpoint, I think it can really benefit your business. You know, influencers, you know, get what you want to do out there. It's really a networking platform. That part beneficial. You know, you meet a lot of people. You can really network and find different people and things like that. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
All right, so the negative aspects of social media, you know, for instance, Kanye West, you know, that guy right there, even though he is the GOAT, he made graduation, can't get mad at him. He still has a problem with social media. Like, he shouldn't take everything social media, shouldn't take every interview that comes to his face. He does need help when it comes to that. But other than that, social media can be a dangerous place. It can take your net worth down by billions, apparently, just by speaking out. Or like Kyrie Irving, he reposted something from Amazon, but he got backlash and not Amazon. So I guess it also like depends on who you're talking about.
But
and what you're talking about.
let's talk about you all though. Meaning, but I want to ask about you all. I think Uncle Bob wants to kind of get the idea on what you all are saying is correct, and we respect that. But I want to know, as far as you all, like when it comes to the internet, have you all experienced like you feel as though you have to put on a fresh outfit and take a picture, or if you took a picture of one of your brand new outfits, is it a certain amount of views, certain amount of likes, certain amount of comments that you feel as though you should receive?
So,
and if you don't, how do you feel that way?
So just me or our generation?
Just you. I'm speaking you or your generation. Whatever you feel about.
So for the likes parts, I don't really care about likes, and I barely post pictures on Instagram anyway. I don't. But I'm not the type to. I don't really need anyone else's opinion. I don't really care what anyone has to say for real. But I know a lot of different people who will post something, and it wouldn't get the average likes that they used to. And they would literally go on Instagram and just be like, they'll be like, stop snaking me and things like that. Basically saying like, get my likes up there. They'll be mad. And social media really has a negative influence on our generation because I'm sure everyone is aware like the murders and the crimes in our city. Social media really has a big influence. I know a lot of people that has passed away, and it's been causes from, arguments on social media, this person talking about this person dissing this person's dead friend or whatever, dissing this person. And, it will lead to the streets, and, what happens. So I think on that side of our generation, social media has a really bad turn and things like that. So
do y'all have any tips for the parents who have kids who are like scrolling every evening after school and maybe taking in all of the influences, or what? What would if y'all had to make any suggestions?
Put your phone down.
I can't say that because I can barely put my phone down. So I ain't gonna say that.
But like to piggyback off what you said, like about how like does it influence us to put on a fresh fit and walk out the house, take pictures, stuff like that, look for how people like your stuff. It was like that, especially like for me. At first it was like, oh man, I only got 4 likes. But you gotta think about a different mindset, like, okay, 4 people liked what you wore. You know how many people are looking at it. You just know that 4 people liked it. You gotta be grateful for what you have, really. But in terms of being yourself on social media, that can be, kind of tricky at first, because all these eyes are on you. Like the people are just judging from what they see that you post.
Calling you champ.
Right. So exactly. Me and called champ are like one of the worst.
Probably the worst things you could be called.
That's my girl.
And see, that's crazy because in our generation, champ was considered
as a matter of fact,
a term of respect.
You know what's crazy about that though? Like that's what I say when people birthdays on Facebook. It was a guy, happy birthday, champ.
That's different. It's like
my mom always says that. She always be like, champ to me means champion. But let's say, okay, Uncle Mo, let's say, how can I put this to real? Nah, I don't mean that no more. But let's say,
you really
champ is disrespectful now.
Yeah.
If
Well,
Jabril,
and-
said something corny, and I'd be like, "That was Champ." Like, don't say that again. Like, that's Champ.
It's like,
Champ mean chump,
Nah, it just means you
or
can't.
champ means just you,
So
It
it's
means
like
what
it's
you-
like equivalent to
Corny. Corny.
Yeah,
It means
literally
equivalent to
means
corny.
corny. It's corny.
Yes. Yeah.
okay. I just
I'm sorry, I
learned
didn't mean to cut you off though. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was saying, but oh, I guess like being yourself, right, on social media, that can be really hard at times because all the eyes are on you. Like you don't want to be called champ or just be called weird, right?
Mhm.
Like, I'm recently started to break out of that shell myself. You know, trying to post stuff that revolve around what I like, you know, just like movies and TV shows, like acting, stuff like that. And so I'm starting to be more happy with myself and what I post on social media versus when I didn't post at all. Like on my main page, I wouldn't post because I would just be afraid of what people would say, or like just even like a spam account. Like you can do what you want, but once you get more people, more strangers on there, you want to get to know. You're like, oh nah, he champ. Like they see me doing the worm or like you know what I'm saying, something weird on my spam, even though that's me, it's myself. It's just the fact of just people judging you for just being you.
read what Sheena said.
I could.
Read what Sheena said.
Sheena said, value and respect your privacy. It's a time and place for everything. Your posts are long term. Be mindful of the impacts of your posts.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
Okay.
we got to wrap it up. We gotta
Okay,
wrap it up.
cool.
Before we get off real quick, Jabril, we heard about Elijah and his endeavors that he wanted to do for us the future moving forward. What about you? Are you planning on going to college?
Yeah, I'm planning on going. To college.
Have you got any offer letters, or have you written?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Oh, Uncle Mo coming in real quick,
No,
y'all.
I ain't doing that. I ain't
Give it up
doing
for
that.
Uncle Mo, y'all. Give it up for Uncle Mo, man. Give it up for Uncle
Hey,
Mo, man.
Young CEOs. What y'all gonna do?
So, yeah. No,
Well,
So you was
well, I guess like for college, like I can get to it later, but I'm more like the thing I actually want to do with my life. Like I would have a couple things, you know, like want to get into acting, music production, you know, sales, like running a business. I'm trying to do that with Santana. What else do I want to do? Well, I love to drive, but I don't think being a NASCAR driver is that easy.
that's a hobby. That's a hobby. That's a hobby.
But
It's
it's
okay to
something
have
that I
hobbies.
love to do. You know, I'm really trying to focus on things that I love and how I can implement that into like the workforce instead of just going to college for business and you just going to college for business. You know what I'm saying? You get a business degree, but after that, what are you? Like you get a business work for somebody, but what are you?
Right.
Like who am I?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure that out for myself, and I think everybody else should too. Like figure out who you want to be and how you want to be in the future. Like how you want your kids to be, what stories you want to pass down for future generations.
Generational wealth.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. You should too.
Hey,
Respect.
man, that was respect, man. I love it, man. It was a great show.
CEOs in training,
Young
man.
CEOs in training, man.
Right.
I love it,
Love it.
man. I love it, man. Well, you know, before we go, man, it's that time, man. But I just want to thank you, both of you guys, man, for coming on tonight, joining us, sharing your stories about yourselves and your family. You know, us three, to the right, to the left, and behind you guys, 110%. You definitely know your mom is, grandma, Tiffany, Angelinda, Aunt Sade, the whole crew. You know, the whole family is behind you all. Asaya, Micah, Sari, they look up to you guys. Alan, Josiah, who else? Amir and Layla. You know what I mean? They all looking up to you guys. Even Jay Shell and her daughter Journey. You know, so we love them all. We love you guys. We want nothing but the best for you all. We praying for you guys. We behind you guys 110%. You guys know that it was always open conversation. You always come to us and talk about anything. Uncle Mo, you want to add something before we go real quick?
I love your Gila monsters.
Then we ain't see we cut them loose. We ain't talking about their women. You know, that's for the next time. You know.
I love these boys, man. They doing amazing things, man. Well, take us out.
well. Thank y'all for coming out. Bye bye.
Peace, y'all.